welcome to a special version of Drive Home Reviews. It's good to be back. I hope everyone had a excellent summer. So as I'm recording this, I am currently in my home state of Alaska. So hence why you're seeing trees and whatnot going by as opposed to, buildings like normal. And because my parents' internet connection is slower than the director's cut of Lord of the Rings, obviously I don't get a chance to upload these videos that I see over the summer until I get home. So this isn't going to be up till August. So by this point, I'm going to assume that everybody has seen the movie. If you were interested in seeing the movie, you've seen it. And so therefore, I'm not going to worry as much about spoilers as I normally would. It's really annoying. So I'm not going to worry about spoiling the film. I'm going to just talk straight at it. So if there are spoilers, sorry. So the original Jurassic Park is one of my favorite movies. I loved that movie. I still love that movie. And it's coming at it not just from a point of view of nostalgia. It came along when I was young and I loved it then and I love it now. But it's coming along from the fact that it was a good movie. And it held up. And now, does that mean that you excuse the problems of it? No, certainly not. It just means that the problems aren't so insurmountable that you can't take the enjoyment from it. Now, here's one of the things about Jurassic Park, the original, and about the film series as it's been. Because one of the overarching themes of the original movie was this whole thing about we've uncovered this new power of genetic engineering, and we're just kind of powering forward, and we're not really stopping to think about our actions. The idea of people in a dire situation making kind of stupid or ill-informed decisions in a crisis situation goes along with the theme of the film. You can kind of get behind it because you're like, okay, that's kind of what we're supposed to be seeing. Everything's kind of a bigger metaphor. The problem with the Jurassic Park franchise, as it has been ever since, is it seems like each subsequent movie involves people making increasingly stupider and stupider and stupider decisions to the point where we find ourselves now in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, where any semblance of logic or cohesive storytelling or just basically fixing plot holes has completely gone out the window. This film is so contradictory, it is so confusing, it raises so many questions. Now, as a sci-fi guy, I understand that everything is going to raise questions. How do you make sharp turns in space and all that kind of stuff. But this one it seems like it goes so far out of its way to just raise questions that never get satisfactory answers, and you're never sure why they're asking the questions in the first place. So let's give some examples. So the prime driving force of the plot this time, as you've probably seen from the commercials, is that the island that the original Jurassic Park was set on and Jurassic World was set in, the original island, now has had a huge volcano this entire fucking time. And now it's about to go off and kill all the dinosaurs. So there's this huge debate of, do we go and rescue the dinosaurs? So right away we're met with some questions. First of all, no. Because every time we've had interactions with them, it hasn't ended well. All right? B, it's a natural end to their life. We brought them back. They're not natural creatures. And C, if you want the dinosaurs to survive, can't you just fucking make more? Isn't that the whole point of them being clones? You can make more of them? So then, Bryce Dallas Howard from the first Jurassic World, suddenly now a dinosaur activist, which, how does that work with her character from the first movie, where she's, so emotionally disconnected from them and then spends the rest of the movie being chased by them. So now suddenly is, oh, we must save the dinosaurs. Oh, what if there are no dinosaurs ever? So she gets recruited by James Cromwell, who is our John Hammond stand-in. Apparently a guy who was a business partner with John Hammond all the way back from before the first movie, now in a lovely retcon, who wants her to go and lead an expedition to rescue dinosaurs from the doomed island and take them to a new island to be a sanctuary. So first of all, we're already ripping off the plot of Jurassic Park Lost World, which nobody liked, so I don't know why we're doing that. And speaking of Lost World, this is what bugged me right from the get-go, and it's been bugging me ever since. It's very difficult to know the timeline of the Jurassic World franchise. Because when they did the first one, when they did Jurassic World like 3 years ago, you felt like they were doing all like a lot of horror movies do, and going, okay, all those other sequels, those don't exist. We're just gonna pretend like Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 never happened, and it's only Jurassic Park and now this one. Okay, I think that's stupid. I hate when films do that, but all right, fair enough. In this movie, they directly fucking quote Lost World. Directly quote it, which means that movie did happen in their continuity. So now here's why this is bugging me. The whole point of Lost World is that there already was another fucking island with the dinosaurs roaming free on it. That was the plot of Lost World. That was the setting for Jurassic Park 3. It has been fucking established. So if there already is an island with dinosaurs on it that they have never touched on in these new movies, they've never mentioned, but now that they're quoting it, you have to assume it still exists. Why the fuck do you need to go to this island and save these dinosaurs? There's already an island with dinosaurs. Nothing to explain this, and it bugs the shit out of me. So, on that, let's talk a little bit about some of these other things. So, James Cromwell's character, James Cromwell's like the only good actor in this movie. So, James Cromwell is essentially fucking Batman, okay? He has this huge house with a basement so big that it can house it can house a mad science lab, an evil meeting room straight out of a James Bond movie, and holding cells big enough to hold fucking dinosaurs. And a private dock. Alright. So there's that. While we're on the acting, let's talk about this. So, Bryce Dallas Howard used to be one of these actors that I used to go, wow, she's really good. She's just never been in a good movie. I really want her to be in a good movie. And because I saw her in The Village way back in the day and thought she was pretty good in that, and The Village was a piece of shit. But she was really good in it. So since then I've been going, well, she's good. She just hasn't gotten any good movies. And I hate to say it, but after 2 of these Jurassic World movies, I'm like, I don't know if that's true anymore. I don't know if she is good. I really don't. I want to believe she is, but I have I can't find proof to back it up. But let's talk about the real Tyrannosaurus in the room. Let's talk about Chris Pratt. Everybody loves Chris Pratt. Everybody loves Star-Lord. I love Chris Pratt as Star-Lord. And I think Chris Pratt is a decent actor when the role is right for him. But here is the problem, and it was the problem in the first Jurassic World movie, the problem in this one. He is not the right type for this fucking part. Chris Pratt's strength comes from playing insecure man-children who are putting on the face of bravado to hide how scared or hurt or whatever they really are. That's why Star-Lord works so well. He is not good good in a part of someone who actually has to be the macho man, actually has to be the alpha male. Because when he plays that, it just comes off as forced. It was a problem in the first movie. It is a problem in this one. He is not right for this character. You need a Daniel Craig for this character. You need someone who has that natural swagger and doesn't look like a freshman trying to impress the seniors at all times. And because of that, he is awful in this movie. He was awful in the last one. He's awful in this one. I know everybody loves Chris Pratt. He's our god now, and we can't say anything bad about him. But folks, just like Margot Robbie, face the facts. He's not good in this movie. He's not good in these movies or this character. All right. So, on the acting, let's talk a little bit more about the acting. So, we had the prerequisite Jurassic Park child. You have to have a little kid in these Jurassic Park movies. It's like written into the DNA of it. So we have our subsequent little kid. This little girl, is the center of one of the most easily guessed plot points or plot twists, I should say, in movie history. If you cannot guess what this child's plot twist is by about her second scene, you need to go back and watch more movies because you're not paying attention. Okay? Anyway, the young actress whose name I do not know is actually fairly good in the role, and I think we do have to give her, a bit of applause because in the pantheon of Jurassic Park kids, she is by far one of the least annoying. And that's not easy. The Jurassic Park kids are some of the most annoying fucking kids in film history. All right? Lex and Tim from the first one were awesome. They were natural. They felt real. They contributed to the story. All right. They're good. No complaints about Lex and Tim. That's not just because I had a huge crush on Ariana Richards when I was younger. All right? The young lady from the second one was a decent actor, but her character was completely pointless. Therefore, it made everything she did just more and more fucking annoying. The kids from Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World, I was rooting for them to get eaten. I wanted them to die. Alright, so Little Miss Thing here in this one is far less annoying and far more natural. However, even she is not immune from the stupidity bug. So she's being chased through the house by Uber Raptor, that of course the mad scientists have now cooked up an Uber Raptor as opposed to the Uber Tyrannosaurus they made in the last one. So she runs into her bedroom to hide. She gets into the bed and pulls the covers up to about her chin and says, Every fucking kid knows when you're hiding from monsters, you hide under the bed. Not on top of it. What are you, stupid? Monsters can't get you under the bed. And it could see you. It wasn't like she was hiding under the cover. She had him up to her chin. The thing could still see her. Ugh. Oh, and of course, as long as we're on the acting, let's talk a little bit more about some of our new characters. You know what makes... And you're sitting there watching, you're like, I wonder what could make this film even more obnoxious than Chris Pratt and his extremely annoying character. I know! Hipsters. Annoying hipster characters. Yes! That is what we need to add to this to relate to the young people. They have two new characters in this, two more dinosaur activists, two of the most annoying, superfluous characters that ever existed. You have Black Nerd, who spends the whole time going, is that a T-Rex? Is that a T-Rex? And behaving like a black nerd. And then you have uber hipster, I'm too sassy for the room, dinosaur vet girl, who falls into the same trope that Margot Robbie fell into in the Tarzan reboot a few years back, where they want you so much to think this girl has, she's sassy, she doesn't take crap. When you spend 90% of your screen time as a hostage of the bad guys, you are a damsel in distress. You can try to make her be snarky and bitchy about it all you want to try to hide the fact that she's a damsel in distress. She's still a damsel in distress. It does not make her a strong, independent woman. Okay? Ugh, hipster characters. Hate them. All right, what else? Okay, all right. Here's another one that just kind of blows the head off of me in terms of logic of these films. So, in the end, this whole story, the whole point of this movie is to basically say that from now on, because yes, they are going to make more of these pieces of shit, the dinosaurs are not going to be on the island. They're here in our world, and we're going to live with them. It's going to be like the Flintstones, yabba dabba do. All right. So, in the end, little girl releases the dinosaurs into, the wild, into our world. Now, here's the problem with this, and I guarantee you they won't address this in Jurassic World 3. When they're rescuing the dinosaurs off the island, they're only taking one or two of each species. And by two, the only one we see is like a mother and a baby triceratops. All the other ones, they're just taking one. Now, I guarantee you, in the next film, the Earth will be like, overrun by these things. How is that fucking possible when there's only one of them? You need two to breed. Okay, and don't give me this shit. Well, because they were genetically engineered, they did. No, that wouldn't fucking work. Okay, it wouldn't fucking work because these were animals that were bred for a zoo first. They would have bred that out of them. They're very specific. Oh, we can breed them out. So, the plot point, the whole point of the movie to set up, I'm sorry you're all getting kind of this weird shadow here, but, sun's coming up, sorry, but, hey, is to fucking set up this plot about now dinosaurs are going to be roaming around in the real world, and it's not going to work. All you have to do is kill the main ones, or wait for them to die off, and problem solved. I mean, they're going to kill all these other people in the meantime. Oh, and here's something else that bugs the hell out of me. Does nobody at InGen, or whatever the hell the new company that runs these dinosaurs is called, does nobody fucking screen their CEOs? Do they just get them right out of James Bond villain school? The villain in this movie is so obvious. The villain from the first fucking moment you see him, like, he might as well just come and go, "Hi, I'm Bob Evil, here of Evil Co." Does nobody screen these motherfucking people? There's more. There's tons more. I just don't know how much more I can get into because at some point you're just... Oh, okay, I got one more. So, as you know from that trailer bit, they're Bryce Dallas Howard and Black Nerd are in the little gerbil ball thing, and they go over the cliff, and they're underwater. So then Chris Pratt, being Superman, jumps in and uses a gun to shoot the hamster ball to, get them out. First of all, firing a gun underwater doesn't work. Second of all, the bullets coming out of the gun would not hit anything underwater with enough speed or force to do any damage. Third of all, Jimmy Fallon spent a whole unfunny part in the first Jurassic World movie explaining that these gerbil balls were so strong, a bullet wouldn't break them. This is a microcosm of what I'm talking about these movies just not making sense within their own continuity, within the rules they have established for themselves. I am fine with the idea of just a dumb movie that you turn off your brain and just enjoy for the spectacle. I enjoyed the hurricane heist, okay? So I'm not dumb. I know that that's okay. But when your movie is constantly breaking its own rules, or breaking its own continuity, or not even bothering to acknowledge these massive plot holes, your movie begins to look like The Interstate. All right? And just because, and I'm sorry, we're past the point now where you can hide all this behind, ooh, look at the special effects. They're the same special effects we've seen in the other Jurassic Park movies, are the same special effects we see in every fucking movie. So just saying, ooh, it's a spectacle, that doesn't cut it. There is so little good about this movie. There is so little to grab onto to even go, well, that was exciting at least. It's not. None of it works. None of it fits together. And as hard as it is for me to say, Actually, it's not hard for me to say, because I loved the original. And just like, it's weird when a movie becomes a metaphor for its own franchise. Just like the dinosaurs on that island, we need to let this franchise die. We haven't taken it in a new or interesting direction in years. There was a comic book series a few years ago, didn't last for very long, a Jurassic Park comic book series where it was Tim and Lex from the first movie grown up. And Lex was kind of the Bryce Dallas Howard role, kind of running the company, and Tim had kind of become the Chris Pratt character. That would have been fucking interesting. Because now not only do you have these characters coming back, but now you get to see kind of what that kind of trauma from that early on does to a person. But this film series has not had an interesting or original idea in years, and as much as it pains you sometimes, you gotta say, it's time to stop. You gotta stop this. Alright? So, final grade for this one, I'm gonna be generous, and I'm gonna say a C-. I was gonna say a D or an F, but the thing is, I'm sure when this thing is on HBO next summer, I'm going to watch it 100 times, just like we did, my parents and I do with Jurassic World and the other Jurassic Park sequels. No matter how dumb it is, we're going to rewatch it. So, you know, and have fun making fun of it. So, you know, I can't say that there's no value in it. But as a basic movie, as a film on its own, it's bad, and they're just so, when you leave asking that many angry questions, you've done something wrong. So that's this one. I'm hoping to do a couple more of these before heading home. Sorry about the light and the bouncing camera. It's kind of the thing when you're in an unfamiliar environment. But I hope you enjoyed it. I'm glad to be back. Look forward to more of these going forward. So until next time, drive safe, and I will see you at the movies.